Devil Hunters, after a 2-week hiatus, chapter 130 titled Kill Building. Reference to Kill Bill. I see what you did there, Fujimoto. Denji is blazing through Tokyo with that new motorcycle. The key remarks was the ability that he knew he didn't have. Oh man, if Denji thinks he did that, we're going to have a lot of problems when he finds out the actual truth that it was Asa. Anyway, unaware that it was Asa's doing, Asa reiterates that the big chainsaw man says that if they can outrun the tentacles, they should be able to be free. So when you look at this chapter, there's a lot happening, pulling these Akira maneuver-like stunts to evade the tentacles. Now, it's one thing if the big worm monster, and we don't even know if it's a worm devil anymore, we'll talk about him a little bit later, if he gives up. It's a big lethargic thing, and there's my meal escaping. You know what? I ain't got time for that. However, the falling devil is a primal fear, and I'm going to put the primal devil and the falling devil in a tier above the rest, as we all should. So, insinuating that, is the falling devil just going to give up on Asa as well? I don't see that necessarily happening. So whatever context clues we can muster up here and what the fake chainsaw man is telling Asa and Denji, you know, they just have to evade it long enough until the sun comes up. Could that be a hint on what could be the one and only weakness of devils that live in hell specifically, and primal fears, that the sunlight is really their source of weakness? We know back in the International Assassins arc, when the doll devil made a deal with the darkness devil, what was one of the biggest weakness when Denji was combating that? Well, it was the power of the sun, the power of flames, the power of light, etc. So if we go off of that angle, then that could work, because the big worm copycat devil, look, if it wants to give up on the meal, that's one thing. However, I just don't see the falling devil from a distance say, oh, there's Asa, well, I guess I'm gonna have to tell Famine that I failed the mission, right? Like, I just don't see the primal devil doing that. So Denji and Asa evading just enough until the sunrise, I think, is the key to the answer. That being said, Denji asks Asa if he truly believes the doppelganger, to which Asa remarks, well, it did save the both of them. And where does the allegiance of this copycat chainsaw man fall on? It seems like the copycat is probably working for the Famine devil, but the Famine devil seems to be one of the forefront leaders or sparking this ignition of the Nostradamus apocalypse, and is clearly helping the falling devil, because the falling devil, I believe, says got the instructions from Famine to do whatever she's doing. And yes, of course, the King of Terror. But what if Famine has her own agenda like Makima, right? What if Famine, much like Makima, is doing what she's told from literally the higher ups? Well, what if selfishly she has something she wants to acquire and saving Yoru, strictly off the basis of, well, hey, she's my little sister and I want to protect my little sister. But you're not doing a whole lot of protecting when you're also instructing the falling devil that you need Asa to be devoured by this worm devil, copycat ditto devil. So now let's go ahead and talk about that, because covering his face with his hands, this worm devil manifests into the physical world using one of his tentacles before morphing one of his hands into a mallet and swinging it at the two. Denji asks what sort of devil would have that power, only for Asa to redirect his attention to the road. And now I get why Fujimoto took 2 weeks to release this, because him and his assistant editors, oh my god, RIP their hands and their wrists, okay? Look at the level of detail and attention at the destruction going on in Tokyo as Asa and Denji are evading the falling devil. Look at this level of detail. But going back to the devil itself, when Denji asks what kind of devil this is, and Asa doesn't really answer because she's trying her best to redirect Denji's attention on, well, you know, making it alive, Fujimoto is definitely teasing us with what's happening here. I know the biggest ongoing theory that many of us fans have speculated is that this is a worm. If the worm has the meal via Asa/Yoru, it's going to turn into this butterfly weird thing, and that's either another primal devil or another big, you know, general boss-esque that Denji has to take out to save Asa. But I don't think we're going to necessarily get this thing devouring Denji and Asa. I mean, I think we can, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, but I don't think this thing is going to transform into a butterfly or moth, because more and more of its unique features and attributes are being shown off in this chapter. And this is where I would love to hear your guys' comments down below. Is this like a copycat mimicry devil? Anyway, the falling devil has different plans and throws a building, only for Denji once again to ride on that motorcycle like such a badass, jump off like an action sequence in a movie, only for now again, this monster opens up its stomach with its tongue sticking out, tentacles onto the side, and look, this looks like some Jabba the Hutt devil. What's that thing in Star Wars where it was like the little pit that Boba Fett got sucked into? But anyway, two things are going to happen here. And luckily, chapter 131 is going to show us that, okay, here's Yoshida, or hey, hey, here's Kishibe, or hey, here's Famine, or quite literally anyone else that's going to save them. Or scenario 2, they really go into the pit of the stomach, we would kill 2 birds with 1 stone. The devil now seemingly devoured Asa/Yoru, and now it could metamorph into whatever it's trying to do. And if it doesn't transform, it's not a big deal. But you know, now the falling devil has accomplished what Famine has instructed her to do. And if Asa and Denji are back in hell and they have to find a way to get out, we can finally begin the opening pages of Denji going into the depths of hell to find the reborn again blood devil to transform into power. And how cool would it be if for only Chainsaw Man and Asa to escape hell, they can't rely on the door anymore because the falling devil has closed those doors back into earth, but it's the reborn again blood devil that gets them out. We're going to be doing a live discussion stream to talk more about this in length, and a big shout out to all my new members, Epi, Nev, and of course we got Pudding and Jamal as well. And if you guys want to see the discussion stream, you're going to want to click on this video right here.